Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. Smurfy, say a couple things.
Hello. How are you?
And if anybody that is already in the chat, just let us know if you can hear both of us okay. Game audio is okay. Smurfy, you want to say a few more things just to...
Yeah, this should be super fun. Hopefully everyone can hear me.
Yeah, it should be good. I can see audio's looking good.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like... Yep, I gotta turn you up a little bit.
How about now? Testing. Am I still quiet?
It should probably be the same. Yeah, give me just one moment. Okay, try it now.
Hello. How is everybody?
I bumped you up to an additional 100%, so it should be good.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. Alright, perfect. Alright, so we can get started then. So this is the Mario Kart 64 No Skips Tournament Finals with with some of the two best players in the community, Dan and Matthias. So definitely in for a real big treat today because Dan is actually the winner of the losers bracket. So he's actually making a comeback, and he has to win twice in order to beat Matthias today. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Dan, but I have faith. What about you, Smurf? Well, how do you think this is going to turn out?
Yeah, this has the potential to be super close because Dan's actually been playing really well lately.
Yeah.
He's got 38s in his last two tournament matches, and actually during the winner's semifinal between me and Matthias, he actually did a run sort of along with us for practice and actually got a 38 in that as well as very recently getting the world record in the category. So
yeah, he's been on fire. He's
been
absolutely been on fire. Yeah, his last two, yeah, he did get sub 39 against Calamity as well. So it's shaping up to be really good. The most recent Matthias match, it looks like he had the 39.05. So bearing that in mind, and any major mistakes, I think this is going to be a great close match.
For sure.
All right, so I'm gonna see if the players are ready, and then we can count them down. Yeah, it looks like they're both readying up. And then I'm going to take a moment just to get the video feed synced up.
And we're off.
Off at the races. Looks to be
so
good.
Yeah, because Dan actually has to win twice to take the tournament win. I think most people are probably cheering for Dan in this first race just because we want to see these guys race twice.
Yeah, I want to see the grand battle. Because Matthias actually has yet to lose once, hence why he's in the end of the winners bracket. So it'd be nice that not only would that be his first loss, but then that would kind of bring it back and really put on the pressure for that last match.
Yeah.
For a little bit of redemption for either one of them. You know, Dan has already redeemed himself coming back from the losers bracket.
Yep.
I'm trying to think when he got knocked out. I believe that was actually...
It was the winner's
third
quarterfinal versus me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Quarterfinal, yes.
Yeah. I had the shock upset.
Yes.
And then he absolutely destroyed me in the losers final. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because both these racers, their previous races in the tournament were beating me.
That's right. Yeah, Dan had a 39.43, and you knocked him out with a 39.39. Yeah, that was great. Yeah. That was awesome. All right, so looks like Dan was just a little bit ahead, about half second. He got that mushroom, give him a little bit of advantage.
Yeah, mushroom's pretty powerful on this track too, getting that mystery boost at the end of it.
Huge. And onward to everybody's favorite track. Mo Farm.
Who actually genuinely like this track.
Yeah. I think it's almost in a kind of like a sadistic way, or masochistic. Yeah. It's like once you get used to how random the moles are, and you've done it enough times, and you kind of have the soundtrack burned into your memory. For those of you that play with the sound on.
Yeah. Matthias gets a shroom already.
Yeah. He's historically in the tournament, he's actually had really good luck with mushrooms. Oh my god. And here we go. But you know, Matthias with mushrooms, Dan's gonna pull a couple boos, and it's gonna be something different.
Yeah, it's true. Dan does get quite a lot of boos.
So that would be beneficial for this track as well, but particularly on a couple other ones. That looks like he took the outside, so wow, rolling around right about the same time.
Yeah, the shrooms on this track don't save nearly as much time as they on Luigi Raceway. So.
I do agree with that. You know, it was only about a 0.1 difference, but he did pretty much tie it up now, and he pulls another one. What?
So he had Dan hit the mole.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
At the same time too. All right. So now he's got a few seconds on him. And
he gets a shroom on all 3 laps for farm.
Yeah, the uneven terrain, I mean, you really got to risk it to save a lot of time. It's just not worth it. And yes, this is a double elimination, so if Dan wins, he will have to win again.
Yeah. It's interesting on Moo Farm. For me personally, I actually find it easier to avoid the moles and go inside that last one if I have a shroom.
Oh, really?
There's just something about the drift angle you have when you do the shroom there that, I just find it much more consistent.
Yeah. Once you find the sweet spot, which for me is like if I'm doing like fast lap attempts, makes it a lot easier than doing it 3 laps in a row, especially.
Matthias so Dan missed the item box.
Miss the items. Okay. Dan actually does get it. Nice.
So. They're using a badly mapped polygon to the right of the finish line there to make the game think they're in 8th place for just a few frames. And when they trigger the item there, they get an 8th place item, hopefully.
Yeah, ideally a star. You know, any speed boost item. Golden mushroom is pretty good.
Oh my god, Matthias missed
bounced over.
Between them that time.
Dan gets it both times, but he gets a lightning this time, so he's not going to be able to recoup much time here. Yeah, that was a weird bounce.
Yeah, getting the triple shrooms was nice for Dan. It saves about a second over no shrooms at all, and but a star or a golden shroom will save closer to 2 seconds. So, sort of got the worst of the good lucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, didn't save too much time. If he would have pulled a star, that he would have caught up a bunch of time.
Yeah.
It looks like Matthias is lagging a little bit, so I'm going to resync him up here. That should be about good. So, And speaking of lag, this track, the train does lag the game very, very hard. So ideally you just keep it out of sight, or at least hold a banana behind you, because for some reason zooming out does additionally save a little bit of time with lag reduction. Ooh, but he gets bolted. Ooh, that's going to even it up. All right. Dan will pull ahead a little bit now.
I think the zoom out thing has to do with on N64, if things are further away, it will actually sort of decrease the texture quality on it.
Oh, yeah. That's right, like the balloon on Luigi Raceway. It actually like turns into a flat object when you're far away.
Yeah, egg on Yoshi Valley, it actually turns into
no, but he's going to get run over twice. Oh, no. Huge mistake. That's unfortunate. I actually thought he was going to beat it. I thought it was going to be really close.
You might struggle to beat this train.
Oh, boy.
Close. Yeah, there it goes. But I think both players are going to have to wait for the third train, so this might
definitely.
Actually
yeah. Yeah, the last one's the great equalizer. That's why Boo would be really beneficial and would have definitely helped him out there. Matthias getting no such luck. It looks like Dan, the train's going to be gone by the time he gets there. Yeah. So yeah, probably about 4-ish seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super risky. I thought he was going to lead it enough and just make it through.
It's interesting he went to go in front of the train. Usually they'll go for in between the cars.
Yeah.
He thought his pace was good enough to
absolutely.
To get in front of it.
All right, so the first reset of the game. So once you finish the fourth track in a cup, you can just hold the reset button down and just let it out as soon as you cross the finish line. We don't watch any of the credits or any of the ceremonies, so just pop right into Flower Cup and back at the races.
Toad's Turnpike, just MT spam fest.
Yeah, very, very technically, it's getting mini turbos off, making sure that you're drifting in between the cars, things of that nature, spacing it out so that you have a beneficial maneuvering around them. But this is actually one track where it's really apparent who your rival is. This is like one of the first tracks where you're like, oh, yep, Peach is right behind me, so that's very likely the rival of this one. Which is good to know because, oh no, okay, so a bolt apiece now. Whew, that's unfortunate because Dan was already a little bit behind.
Yep. Yeah, Matthias is starting to pull out a little bit of a lead. But,
a little bit.
It's very easy to use that lead.
Right. So yeah, tough to say. Yeah, I
hit a car, it'll even up very quickly.
Right, exactly, and basically. Star Cup onward is where it gets real. So
yeah.
these little things, this is really just adding up for something later. So it can still be a lot of equalizers.
At the end of lap 2, these sort of tanker trucks can be in horrible places if they're on a certain pace. So we'll see how Matthias does with it. Dan should be fine because of the bolt. Actually, yeah, Matthias is fine.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Sometimes it's really tough to get around them.
Yeah, if
you'll have a
you
good
go
gap.
super fast like these guys are, the one on the inside hasn't had a chance to catch up enough. But for more scrub-like players like myself, they're literally right next to each other. It's horrible.
Yep, same here. Yeah, I've definitely hit them. I think I did in one of my races. Which is unfortunate because, you're trying to like do a mini turbo and kind of use that momentum to get around like the back end of a car or truck, and sometimes I just take the wrong angle and just hit the back end. Sometimes you can get lucky too because the actual collision detection isn't the exact box of the like bus and stuff. You can like sometimes like clip through the corner.
Yeah, it's essentially like if you pictured like the metal frame of a car, that's the hitbox, and the bodywork doesn't have any hit detection.
Right. All right, so yeah, Matthias pulls up another few seconds. Unfortunate lightning bolt, but overall pretty good driving.
Dan actually drove really well there. He only lost about 3 seconds to the bolt.
Right, even with it, which is amazing.
Normally loses 4 seconds with the bolt.
Yeah, so he would have actually pulled up a little time. So this would be if Dan could pull triple mushrooms right now, this would be huge. This is definitely a track you'd want. You'd want it.
Yeah, this is one of the strongest tracks for the shroom. To saves a huge amount of time. And of course, Matthias gets one.
Oh, I think he heard us. Yeah, on the last race for Matthias, he did pull triple mushrooms.
He did, yeah.
Oh, hey, there we go.
For Dan too.
All right.
Yes,
yeah.
I remember Matthias getting all 3 shrooms.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how they maneuver.
Oh, Matthias hitting a banana on the landing.
Yeah. Wow, he actually went all the way across into the deep snow.
Yeah, that actually lost him a lot of time.
Oh man, he was really close to that.
Yeah, the game, I think the developers actually almost knew that people were going to shroom over that hill and put some snowmen there to deter you.
Absolutely. Right? Because ideally you would just land like right between all of them, which is so tough.
Yeah.
And the fact that the out of bounds is right next to where you need to go. So it's so risky to do. You'd lose a lot of time if you mess this up.
Yeah, and the closer you get to out of bounds on that hill, the easier it is to get a good line through the snowmen as well. So
right.
It's just...
yeah. Double risky.
Yeah. Wow, Dan actually saving almost 2 seconds in that race.
Nearly, yeah.
That's how much that trip into the snow cost Matthias.
All right.
So yeah, Chaco, the walls on Chaco are pretty notorious for just killing all your speed.
Yeah, just the way the hills are, kind of like it's not like a hard wall like inside that tunnel there. It's kind of like a slope, and if you touch it, you'll come to a complete halt in some cases, and you could even get like sucked into the wall slightly, which is really annoying, especially around that last turn where Dan is right now, because you want to pull all the way to the left, but then you'll fall down. So that's a rookie mistake.
Oh my God, Matthias!
Wow,
That's
what?
Third shroom of the track.
Jeez.
Yeah, he used his first shroom on the sort of uphill where if you're doing a lap 1 flap, you'd use your second shroom.
Yeah.
I was going to question whether he used that too early, but it's Matthias, so of course
Yeah.
he had 2 more.
When you're just gonna get another one, you can just use it. Just use it.
Use it wherever. So
And
no, I think it's about 6-2 for Matthias, though, if I was to guess.
And Sandwich Ked, even though it is not the Time Trials League, there's going to be another season coming up pretty soon. This was actually a pretty short tournament. We just started March 22nd, so this actually was pretty quick, just 2 months. So another Time Trials League will be coming up soon.
So those 3 shrooms saved him about
half a second. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, they're not as powerful on this track. I mean, I think also I think Dan drove well enough to sort of make up some of the time as well.
Yeah. Eddie S. Riley, if they get second place, you can continue as long as you get at least 4th. Alright, so this is another track that actually has an 8th place item manipulation. So they will drive around a specific, specific way over the track, and not to cross certain polygons and line definitions. And you can pull an 8th place item like you saw Matthias do just now, just by hitting the just the side of the pipe. You can see it turn to 8th place just for a moment. Oh, but Dan, ooh. That's another one of those slope walls, kind of, where it's just like, he stopped. He came to a dead stop. He didn't even slide forward on that one.
He got triple shrooms off the 8th place item glitch, though, so it might have sort of broke even.
Yeah.
Probably lost a little bit of time.
Triple reds on both sides.
Looks like both of them, both of them managed to actually get rid of them without hitting themselves.
Yeah, that's the real skill. Because if you're on a turn, like, you know, even the beginning, hey, nice, get one mushroom at the end. When you're turning and you fire one of those, it tries to get back to the track and it just ends up hitting you. Another rookie mistake, and I've definitely done it many times. All right, so onward to the better half, in my opinion, of the race, because this is actually where it starts to get real. Not Wario Stadium specifically, unless they get lightning bolted before the big jump. But there is a backup to still make it over.
And yeah, it seems like Dan's only about 3 seconds behind, which is really nothing. Cause,
right. Yeah, of all the stuff that happened in the first half, it's really nominal coming up into here now. We
haven't gotten to the really high variance tracks either.
Right.
Like, it's all been pretty smooth sailing
in
terms of the actual tracks, although they've had some pretty unfortunate things happen already on the
ones. Yeah, the train. Really, that's probably the most major thing that's happened so far. And that was not a typical scenario because usually the train isn't at that spot for Dan.
Yeah. Dan getting a shroom, though, that's actually really good on this track.
Yeah.
It's really rare because you actually don't get very many items on this track because all the item boxes are like way off the line you want.
Right, exactly. But it is very beneficial. I try to get them and try to cycle items just to get that mushroom because you have such a large amount of track just to get to the actual mushroom spot.
Yeah. I do so many of the walls on this track won't break red shells though, so usually if I get a red shell I just hold on to it for the whole race.
Yeah, that's another one of those growing pain things because you're like, oh, it's a wall, I can just throw it in and no problem, but it actually goes up the wall, and just like how we were just explaining about the turns, it's coming right back for you.
It's like the shell played like way too much Tony Hawk and just does a wall ride, you know?
Yeah, 50-50 pop shove it right back into you.
Dan going for the first of the two flip-flop. He's hits the wall a bit.
Yeah, but that's still really good, even with that little wall hit, because if you don't, it's such a small, like very tight window of time where you can get the 50. I almost said 50-50 again. The zigzag mini turbo, and if you don't get into a slide, you're gonna hit the wall.
Yeah, I think Dan's talked about how he doesn't go for the second one unless he's got a really nice angle because it is just so easy for the cart to sort of snag the ground and send you off and you're going to tumble on the wall.
Yep, yeah. And because, that's a very typical maneuver for 100 cc's when we're doing time trials, because you're going so much faster at 150 cc's, it just makes that window, which is already tough in time trials, even tougher. You may make it not worth it. Unless you're playing at a godly level like these guys.
I see a bit of memeing around in the chat, but it is worth mentioning for anybody who doesn't know. The fastest characters to use in this game are Toad, Yoshi, and Peach. They're all exactly the same and much faster than the other options. They
Way
choose
faster.
Yoshi because Yoshi's the fastest to pick on the character screen.
Exactly.
There are some people who take the time loss just to use Toad, though.
Mm-hmm. Yep, myself included. Team Toad for life. I think if I was playing at a pace where, the milliseconds really mattered, I would probably go for it. But I would rather hear the Yahoo than the Yoshi noise. That's just personal preference.
Dan saving about 3/4 of a second on that track, so he's definitely gaining time. He's driving really well.
Definitely, yeah. Just little bit by little bit.
That shroom, of course, definitely helping. There are 7 tracks left, but the longest tracks are like Rainbow Road's almost 5 minutes. So.
So this is another track where typically things go your way, but you can just hit that one penguin and then the entire rest of the track is thrown off. Because the penguins are on a set cycle, but It's really, I don't know. Sometimes when I'm coming around like where they just were, you think that you have led the penguin enough that you're not gonna hit it, but then you do, and then it hits you. You go in the water, then everything's terrible after that.
Yep. Yeah, one mistake and they both get a shroom. Wow.
Wow. At the same time? I feel like that's all happened a lot so far. That's probably the third time where Matthias pulls one. Oh!
Oh, into the penguin. And Dan takes the lead.
Yeah, okay. Now it's on. This is where it actually starts to get real. Is times like that.
On lap 2, that particular penguin is actually in a really bad spot.
Yeah, that's the one most people will hit because it's like perfectly in your way on any pace really.
Dan just scared the crap out of me with that crack jump.
Yeah, that was he went ham on that one. That's another one of those very high risk, but the reward is decent. Like it's probably not as much as.
It saves a surprising amount of time to get a really aggressive crack jump.
Yeah.
And yeah, if Dan wins this first match, we'll have a bit of a break to let the players sort of reset and rest their hands a bit, and then we'll be doing it right after. And interesting, I saw somebody ask about Bowser. Actually, Bowser's would be the next best choice after the lightweights. His acceleration curve is actually really good.
Right, for a heavyweight, yeah, which is really surprising. Yeah, ironically, the middleweight class characters are the worst.
Yeah, they're terrible. Tia's getting a shroom, which is another track where it's actually really helpful to get a shroom here.
Yeah, cutting over the grass and using it, just whipping the cart around next to the wall is great. But this is actually another course where there is an 8th place item manipulation, but you need a boo in order to pull it. Because there's no items close enough for you to get the roulette. Oh, wow. What?
Yes. Dan's supposed to be the boo guy. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh, but he misses it.
That one is actually a lot tighter because on Koopa Troopa Beach, the polygon extends out much further, and so you have a much wider time frame to trigger the item.
Right.
So,
yeah, but this one has the wall, and it is really tough to hit it. I've definitely pulled it too early.
Matthias getting the boo as well, sort of stealing Dan's gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah, he can't have good luck and get all the boos.
Wow, what just happened on Matthias' screen? That was really weird. He, I think, threw a green shell and broke a red shell with it somehow.
Yeah, because red shells can't hit each other, and so can't green shells. But you can hit a red and a green at the same time and just cancel them out.
Yeah,
it looks really weird. Yeah. Right before that, he did snag the wall a little bit. Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Boom. Yeah, for those of you that missed the first one. Instant replay.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could do that. That's cool.
Yeah. Another thing to note about green shells particularly, when you get the single green shell, you want to throw it behind you instead of launching it forward, because if you launch it backwards and you're on a course where they're kind of bouncing on the walls and you cross its path again, you will actually drive right through it, so it's very beneficial. The triple greens you can't throw backwards, so you just try to ditch them where you can. Alright, Matthias did pull up a little bit more. That mushroom was pretty huge. The 40, look at that, 45.79.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much just the shroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So
here's where the run officially starts.
Yeah, Koopa Castle, aka Bowser's Castle. Thwomps get in your way. The CPUs can be really evil, placing bananas around the corner, like right before the rope bridge. Then you fall in the lava. So many things can go wrong. So this is oftentimes a run ender for a lot of people at every level.
Yeah, the Thwomps are on cycles, so they won't be. Most likely won't be getting any Thwomp hits, but as soon as you hit an item or a Thwomp, the cycles are off, similar to Sturberland. It's just, this track's even worse for that. It's just so hard to
Right.
Have a clean race here.
Exactly. And once that first mistake is made, when the CPUs catch up, it gets even worse because then you have heavyweights bumping you around. They seem to lay a lot more items and stuff.
So Shroom and Matthias instantly counters with a boo.
Yeah. I feel like they get luck at the same time, pretty much.
I think Shroom certainly saves you time, but a boo makes it so that the thwomps and items just aren't even an issue.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely like a moment of relief when you pull one because it's like, oh, I can get through this one. Lap 2 is probably the most ideal spot.
You can on certain paces with the boo as well. Sometimes I think you saw on lap 2, Dan kind of had to take a weird route and kind of smash into the wall to get past the thwomps.
Yeah.
But
yep.
With the boo, you can just MT through them and you're safe.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about all of them, which is amazing. Like I said, an entire moment of relief. Dan's still decidedly in the lead.
Yeah, he actually on the first thwomp room actually kind of hit the right side wall.
Yeah.
Get through clean, lost some time, but yeah, still doing well. That Shroom really saves a ton of time on this track, actually.
Yeah, over the grass. All right, and actually the last cup already. DK Jungle Parkway, aka the laggiest track. It actually makes the start boost a little bit tougher because it's lagging that entire time, so the timing of it is off. So you have to get used to that.
I think it's actually slower than like PAL time trials.
Yeah, to like normal.
Both of them get a banana on the very first item.
Yeah, right away. We'll see if they cycle
hold that
it.
item through the entire race. It actually saves about 4 seconds over not holding an item behind you at all.
Right. So if they're not able to cycle for a mushroom, it might be beneficial just to keep it. Looks like Dan pulls up a fake item box. Oh, wow, and Matthias gets a mushroom. So you'll use it to get up the cave a lot quicker. You did kind of take a wider angle, maybe just for safety, because if you go way too far to the left, you'll actually tumble and not make it up, which, especially with a mushroom, is...
And on this ramp jump as well, they try to get as far left as possible, but there's also just trying not to be super risky and miss the jump altogether.
Yeah, it's like 15 seconds of time loss if you fall in, depending, because...
Back up on the ramp.
Yeah, if you get placed up there, that's huge.
Matthias actually used his shroom through the cave, I think. He didn't shroom across the grass.
Yeah, he used it at the end of lap 1. Or did he pull another one? Oh, but he tumbles! Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about. Wow. Yeah, so if you're like right up next to the wall on the left side, you can't make it up anymore. No matter how much you hop, you just tumble.
Yeah, it's almost like, because there's almost like a range where if you go too far left, you'll tumble. It's almost like there's a ceiling that you're hitting. But then if you go even further left on certain angles, you can actually cut it super tight and still make it up. It's weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird cut. All right, so that was big time loss. About 5
seconds.
Yeah, almost 6. Alright, rolling up into Yoshi Valley. So we'll see if they risk going left and going into Spinies. I don't know if Dan's keeping track, kind of where everything's at. Probably see them go right.
He has in past races definitely been paid attention to what's going on with the other players, so I think he'll know that.
But he gets the tumble. Yeah, that's
happens sometimes.
Yeah.
For some reason, lose enough speed.
Both
getting a shroom.
Wow. Yeah, that's happened so many times so far. One person will get a mushroom, the other person pulls something right after. It's the double luck. Can't let the other person get too far ahead.
And they're getting the shrooms on like the best tracks to get shrooms on too. It saves so much time on this track. Dan hitting a spiny gets that like triple bounce on the landing that just for some reason always sends you into a spiny.
Yep. Yeah, I hate that. Yeah, it gives you less control. But Matthias did hit 2, so more than evens it out. Oh, Dan's spinning himself out, which is actually
that lovely 150 CP mechanic.
yeah. Because like if you miss hopping into a drift and you start to toggle the joystick, you'll just spin yourself out. What's Toad
Ooh.
doing?
Squeezing.
Toad was like stuck.
Yeah, the CPUs can do some like really weird things. They go through walls. They can. I once lost a race on Royal Raceway because one of them did a lap skip.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that one. It's like, what are they doing? You just see like on the mini map, they're like way off, like sailing off on the side. It's like, what happened? Or like Bowser's Castle, where they just straight up go through the wall.
Fly through
Cheaters.
the wall at you.
Yeah, cheaters.
The great one is when Bowser does it and hits you and spins you out. That one's always great.
It's my castle. All right, how you do our lake?
Yeah, Banshee Boardwalk for the English version. This is a really tight and technical track. There's horrible places that CPUs like to put items down, especially at that zigzag where there's no railing. But the game is actually kind of nice to you sometimes. There's certain places and certain situations where if you hit a banana and spin out, the game will actually just stop you dead rather than fly off the track. But it's not everywhere for some reason. So sometimes you'll just fly off the track and through no fault of your own.
Right, like after the zigzag where it drops down, there's sometimes a lot of items there, and it'll just like, instead of sailing you off, you'll just stop dead, which is beneficial.
And the CPUs do like to typically put items in similar places on the track throughout the lap. So sort of as you get better, then these guys are obviously at the top of the game.
Yeah, the best.
You kind of learn where the CPUs are more likely to put items down and where you need to sort of pay more attention. But it's actually interesting. If the CPUs are on screen or super close to you, they will actually throw way more items, try to snipe you.
That's why, like on Bowser's Castle, which is already really tough, once those CPUs get caught up, you're going to have a very bad time trying to get ahead of them again. Matthias getting some good luck.
Yeah, I got 2 shrooms.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Dan...
Oh, yeah, just 2? Dang. What? 4? The last
Saved
2 items?
Jeez.
Saved
2 seconds on that track, and Dan did well. Like, nothing bad happened to Dan.
Oh, man. Great.
IL world record? Wow. According to Abney.
What?
That's
what the
crazy.
heck?
So the final track, Rainbow Road, the retina-destroying abomination.
Yeah, give yourself a couple heavy blinks.
Thumb-destroying as well. This is not only long, but also MT spam track.
Right, yeah, just like Toad's Turnpike, just way longer. Yeah, the longest track at Mario Kart as a whole, as a series, actually.
So long that in MK8 they shorted it down to 1 lap.
Yeah, smart choice. Very smart choice, because you figure like the next longest track, Wario Stadium, is like 3 minutes 10 seconds at 150 cc's.
Yeah, it's like a minute and a half longer is this track.
Yeah.
Than the next longest.
And it's really tough to see like fake item boxes because they're very colorful, and bananas depending on where they're placed. Because your eyes are already hurting from all of that, and then you just put that stuff in while you're trying to spam mini turbos and getting around the corners. Makes it really tough. But the soundtrack is amazing, so the long track doesn't feel that bad because it is kind of a jam.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because 1 lap here is longer than 3 laps on a few different tracks.
Yeah.
It's just
right,
crazy.
like Koopa Troopa Beach. It's over before 1 lap is done.
Moo Farm, Mario Raceway, they're all shorter than 1 lap here.
Right.
chomps as well on a cycle.
Oop.
So
Matthias didn't get the... Matthias actually was going too fast. So at the beginning, they actually slow down so that they don't fall. And falling is a lot slower.
Like in the Matrix or something, he just avoided a ton of bananas.
Yeah, he went slalom. That's crazy.
The CPUs on this track pretty much only put items sort of after the uphill in that section, and then sort of up this spiral that Dan's just finishing, and then pretty much for the rest of the track, they don't really put anything down.
Right, it's so weird. Yeah, there's only a couple spots.
Dan feeding DK, sorry Armin. And then gets punished for it.
There's a lot of bananas on the track.
Yeah, wow, CPU put a banana like right behind the item boxes.
Yeah.
Dan was lucky to avoid that one. Matthias using a boo right away instead of saving it for...
for safety.
Chomp.
Yeah, he's at this point he's probably just trying to cycle for items ASAP to try and pick up.
Need to catch it quite a bit of time, so he's those shrooms.
Yeah, it's a shame that he had 30 mushrooms on all the other tracks, and now that he really needs them.
Ooh, Dan just avoiding that chomp. Yeah, it's interesting. People complain about the rubber banding being super strong in this game, but because these players kind of break out of that rubber banding, they don't have any opportunity to get like a second place star or anything like that. So.
Right. Yeah. Toad's Turnpike is like the only time, and usually even for players of that level, they're already still breaking out of that second place rival, which is huge, very apparent of that that fact. So
Dan gets a mushroom.
Yeah, worthy to note that he has yet to pull a boo this entire time, which is odd.
The man who once pulled 4 boos from boos.
Yeah, which is that's like a 1 in 312,000 chance to get a boo, and then steal a boo, and then steal a boo, and then steal a boo. So
yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like 2 days later, after he did that or something, I got a triple boo and was like just hoping.
Yeah, right.
I didn't get it.
Because the boo will actually give you an item based on the place that you are in, but it also has a 20% chance to steal nothing. So it's very, very lucky for him to get 4 in a row.
Yeah, it's essentially just a portable item box, but with an extra 20% chance to just not give you anything.
Yeah.
So it looks like
boo's out.
Right at the end.
Yeah, right at the end. he has to win invisible. 38-56.
38, and Matthias with a 39 flat.
Wow.
Wow. So
that's crazy.
I believe that's both players' best times of the tournament.
Yeah, actually, because I think Matthias had like a 39.06 as his best.
39.05 in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then I think Dan's was like a 38.58. So yeah,
both the best in the finals. Dan actually winning, so that now means that they're gonna play another match because Dan was actually the winner of the losers bracket. So that was Matthias's first loss. So this is gonna be another interesting round coming up. Yeah, world record is 38-33 by Dan, who actually just got it just a couple weeks ago.
Yep. And Matthias has got a 38-37, which is a former world record, but he's third now.
Yeah. Worthy of note that Abney has the 38-37.410, so they actually had to pull out the milliseconds to delineate. Because it's like a 0.2 difference between Abney and Matthias. So
yeah, and that was so Matthias got that, and then Abney took the record back by like half a second or something. Yeah, I think it was like 7 frames that he beat him up.
Right. And that is Dan holds the world record by about 4 seconds,
which is what he beat Matthias by just now, which is kind of awesome. So yeah, there will be just a short little break to give them a chance to kind of relax their hands, get the nerves back in check, and we'll get started again.
Are you hearing Star Fox?
Me? No. Did Dan fire up some Star Fox on a second setup or something?
Yeah, what is...
Oh,
Oh,
you
he
know
did.
Dan's playing the.
Yeah,
he
yes.
was talking recently about how the Star Fox credits music is better than these
It's
games.
amazing. Yeah, it's definitely one of those nostalgia trips. I was like, wait, what? I was like, are you hearing Star Fox? Amazing, amazing.
Yeah, that's something that you and I
That's
right. Certainly have in common with him. We all love Star Fox.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, even speedrunning, you know, like how you can't take a game very casually after that. Star Fox is one of the games that doesn't really, you know, like it doesn't ruin the casual experience for me. Just because, like, you know, as a kid, I would go for like high scores and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's two ways of playing the game casually.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a game that I've personally always kept casual. I don't want to risk speed run it.
Absolutely. It's such a good game. Yeah, Mario Kart's one of those ones where I can't play it casually anymore, so, you know, Star Fox is one of those ones. Luckily, it doesn't ruin it. Love this music. So, both the players are taking about a 5-ish minute break, and then they're going to come back for the final. So this one's for all the marbles.
5 minutes, which is about how long the Star Fox credits last.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah, that was a pretty crazy race. I think they both got bolted once, and Matthias with an unbelievable number of shrooms.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I obviously I spoke too soon saying that Dan wasn't going to get a boo, and he just pulls one right at the end. Yes, everybody please do a barrel roll. Mad respect for that voice actor. One of the most recognizable in all of video game history.
Yeah, so good. I think I've got that script pretty much memorized. I can just I can talk along with it while I'm playing.
Absolutely.
So good.
Yep, here we are at a Mario Kart 64 Finals tournament talking about Star Fox.
Might as well.
Heck yeah. No, absolutely. It's just funny that Dan busted that out. I was like, are you hearing this?
Great.
So I believe
clear advice for Dan right now is to don't party just yet, and he's got to focus for the second race.
Yes. Yeah, the pressure's going to be on now. Oh heck yeah! Yeah, this is the part where the ship's in the back and they're like running through with the sunset.
Yeah, I to be honest, didn't actually think it was possible to beat the train on Calamari Desert.
I honestly have never seen that pace before.
I actually didn't notice. I think Dan had one shroom. Did he get a second one and on both laps?
I'm not sure.
Because that would certainly make it more likely to beat the train.
Yeah, because usually they're coming through trying to go between one of the first cars. So he must have had at least one mushroom coming up.
In practice, I was seeing Dan. He was going through the very first gap in the train, whereas people like me, I go through the second or third or fourth gap. And then of course, lots and lots of people don't go for the gap at all. Yeah, so it is double elimination, and Dan was the loser's final winner, so he needs to win 2 races to take the tournament. So we are going to be playing a second one just a little bit.
Yeah, I think we just need a few more minutes. General Pepper just got the bill. That'll be $4 billion.
What?
What? looks like both of them are about ready. Yeah, I think he did hill hops like every lap, I'm pretty sure. Got it. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
Good luck.
All right, they are ready. The okay sync. Oh, okay, okay.
So here we go. This is winner takes all now this time.
Yeah, I was glad for that. Otherwise, that would have been a very short tournament run.
And actually, they're both using the Japanese version. That's the one. The US version actually does have Mario's voice in the menus. But in the Japanese version, which is about 1 second faster for this category.
Yeah, it does save a little bit of time additionally for that lag reduction.
But yeah, it's just some random dude in the menus instead of Mario.
Right, instead of Charles Martinet. The Mario Grand Prix, yeah, it's always kind of jarring how different it is. Alright, so Matthias pulling that. Yeah, so it's kind of opposite because Dan pulled out the mushroom at that same spot in the last race. So, yeah, this is a track without a lot of variance, so without them pulling any kind of mushroom, it's not going to have a huge impact. Because, you know, right before that tunnel right there, you know that you just have to avoid some avoid some bananas and things like that. That's pretty much the only spot that you can really have trouble at.
Matthias got a second shroom as well, so he's already at 2 on the first track.
Yeah, he's had unbelievable luck in this tournament. Yeah, Toad's Japanese voice is like reminds me of the Mario Party Toad voice.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really good. And I would say Japanese has the best Wario voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sounds more menacing.
So deep and just yeah. Ooh, Matthias got lucky there.
Jeez.
No mole over that hole.
Yeah. It's random which moles pop out, if any. Sometimes when you're doing time trials, hey, booze out. When you're doing time trials, sometimes you can get really lucky and like none of them will pop out, but that's very rare. Matthias getting getting the usual. Oh, the boo running out right as soon as he gets up to that banana. It's a very unfortunate placement on Dan's side there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate on tracks like this as well, where there's some tracks where you hit a banana and it just kind of takes you where you were going anyway, so it doesn't lose you much time. But yeah, he got thrown way offline on that one.
Yeah, this one, which has really, really tough angles and really tough slopes, makes it different. Because charging mini turbos, you want to be in about the same spot because you know that you'll be able to. Because on uneven terrain, it sometimes will just not, turn the smoke yellow red.
Yep. Because you can only charge MTs while you're on the ground, so if you bump off the ground just a little bit, right as you toggle the stick, it doesn't register it.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Ooh, Matthias spinning himself out. Usually don't see that at that spot, but it will happen sometimes. So that's the spin out mechanic. Gotta love it.
It is a spot where you are actually hitting right to turn a bit and then back left.
Yeah. If you do it too fast, yeah, it's almost unavoidable, so you have to do it a little slow. Let's see if they can manipulate some items here. Matthias actually got items, so that's a start. Dan pulling his star.
Pretty much taking all of the advantage Matthias had from his shrooms.
Yep. Yeah, and then some.
Yeah, you can see Dan actually take the lead there. That's how much time a star saves on this
track.
track.
It's huge. It's the most ideal. Double star is very lucky. Let's see what they pull. Oh.
Yeah, unlucky there. He hit the crab launching off the ramp.
Yeah. Yeah, the crabs, I believe, are just like the spinies where they have infinite height. So even though you didn't actually touch one, if you're right above one, it actually still registers you as hitting one. Same as spinies. Oh, Matthias pulling the blue and hits himself with it, but he does get the backup into the cave right away. Wow.
So they're like almost tied now.
Yeah, jeez.
Wow, that was crazy.
That was nuts.
They're like so synced up. That's insane.
Right. A blue, the cave jump, the star, and then spinning out. And then they ended even. Amazing. Amazing.
Wow. Dan about 2 frames ahead.
Yeah, just barely. Yeah, you could tell with the intro music. But yeah, with that 8th place item manipulation, it's a 30% chance to pull a star. So, pretty decent, but you don't see it as much as you'd think for 30%. So Matthias will hold on to that banana, get a little bit more of that lag reduction. And he gets the fake item box. He'll be able to cycle it out and still have it additionally zoomed out.
So Dan going for the train gap this time.
Ooh, and makes it through. Matthias hits it.
So Dan definitely taking a lead now. Got that fake item box to reduce the lag as well. This is one of those tracks where
you need to
cross the line. Yeah, when they cross the line, you see the in-game times. It's not even remotely accurate to how much time they gained or saved.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah.
This and DK are just like not meaningless.
Right, because in time trials we go by in-game timer, but because this is RTA, that additional lag reduction is key. That's why, like some players, when you play zoomed in, like we saw in the time trials league, one player playing zoomed in on DK Jungle Parkway, they can have a similar time, but one person's like 4 or 5 seconds behind the other person.
Yeah. Oh, Dan with a very tight reset.
Nice job.
Both of them.
Yeah, Matthias as well. Yeah, they're wasting no time, even as unsafe as it is, because if you do reset too soon, it would invalidate the run. If so like we'll hold the reset button in and you let go as soon as you cross, but if it's very close, we have to look back and see, did the camera change, did the timer disappear, because those are the things that happen first. Is the timer disappearing even before the camera changes angles.
Yeah, and as far as I know, Matthias's reset button isn't working, so he was actually power switch, which is much harder to get a really tight reset like that.
Right, yeah. Yeah, his reset button is not reliable, so he's using the old strat of just turning it off and turning it back on. IT 101.
I had that when I first set up Streamlink for the restreaming. It wasn't working, and then Mole, the guy who was helping me, was literally like, "Did you reset your PC?" That was literally the problem. Like the Tech 101. No, I didn't turn it off and on again.
You had to uninstall and reinstall Good stuff. So, yeah, again, this one's just a real big spam fest. Not really much variation at higher levels.
Yeah, again, just those tankers at the end of lap 2 here are really the only place that realistically they might have a bit of trouble with the cars. And of course, if there's a CPU item in a horrible place, sometimes they send you right into a car. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Heck yeah, both of them are pretty much going ham with all of the driving. Like, even though there's a little slight difference, these guys are playing at a very high level.
Yeah, there's, you know, for most of us, there's quite a big difference between what your driving looks like in time trials versus 150cc, but with these guys, it's much closer to just their normal driving.
Right. Because, like, if you look at the leaderboards, it's like there's the block of people who have around, 40-minute or, just sub 40, and then there's them who has like an additional minute that they've saved.
Yeah.
Like the gaps are huge.
Big gap between these three and then those of us who are in the sort of mid to low 39s.
Yeah. All right, so again, yeah, mushrooms will be a big pull here. Matthias can save some time.
Oh, it's Dan this time.
All right. It's not a best of one. It's it was a double elimination tournament, and Dan was the he lost earlier in the tournament, and then he won the losers bracket. So even though he won against Matthias just now, he does have to win an additional time. So looking good so far.
Yeah. Still, an extremely close race. With all of the horrible tracks still to come.
Right. Yeah, even though, whatever difference. This is kind of the difference that we saw. Matthias was ahead of Dan, and Dan came back and won it, so...
Yeah, it's actually almost sort of direct reverse of the last race.
Right.
Matthias was about far ahead at this point.
Exactly. So, this is really not indicative of how the rest of the race is going to go.
Getting 2 shrooms, though. That's really nice.
That is good. Yeah, and I feel like Dan has had a lot more shroom luck so far. And he had a boo. Matthias getting one, he'll use it around. Yeah. Got it at the last possible moment. So you essentially, whenever you get a mushroom, you do want to use it while you're drifting, because you actually do maintain that top speed a lot more. If you use it just while just driving straight, you really only save like 0.1, if that. It's really nominal.
Yeah, it's like barely faster than getting an MT, really.
Right, exactly.
Dan getting a shroom. He's getting that NRNG.
Yeah. He must have plugged the Game Shark back in. Oops.
That's actually like a really good thing that for this game that it's pretty much impossible to use a Game Shark because you reset the console after every cup.
Right.
Game Shark menu would come up.
Exactly.
And actually, like, lose you a bunch of time because it takes forever.
Yeah, this is another highly technical track. You want to try and do those mini turbos as close to the wall as possible, but like we said in the last race, hitting the banana. If they touch the wall, it'll just stop. Sometimes just put you at a dead stop.
Yeah, the walls literally just eat you. Like it's.
Yeah, you'll like suck in. There's actually some parts where you can fall through the ground even.
Yeah, yeah. If you sort of drive backwards at the finish line, there's a really badly put together sort of vertex of 3 polygons coming together that you can just fall through them.
Yeah, yeah, you can just like drive right through.
Dan with another shirt.
Yeah, sometimes if you get that last one, you can kind of drift over the hills like Wario Stadium mushroom, but it's risky because you can hit and tumble. I can say I've definitely done it. I was like, oh, I'll do it. No, that was a bad idea.
I think it's like 9 times out of 10 I've tried that. And
Yeah, same.
Tumble on the wall. It's just
Exactly.
So we'll see the route that you take for the 8th place item glitch actually loses you quite a bit of time on this track if you don't get anything. So we'll see if they can manage to do.
You pretty much usually make a snap decision based on what you get on the first lap. Because if you get triple mushrooms, oh, you got a boo. Interesting. So
Yeah,
he must not.
He went for the fast manipulation glitch there, but
I think he touched the grass right before that, so I'm not sure if that was the spot.
yeah, you can touch the grass on the faster one. It's just because it's a different method. The CPUs actually have to be a certain length along the track for the faster one to work.
Yeah.
And only work on lap 1 because the CPUs just aren't close enough. Because the game actually thinks you're in either 2nd or 3rd place with that one. So it's surprising that Dan.
No.
Hopefully he can recover quickly.
Yeah, he's got the star, so he'll be able to pull ahead at the end here. But that was unfortunate.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that's the nightmare spot to get stuck at, because you hit the wall and then it's like you have to stop, because when you're still driving forward, you have a little bit of momentum. You can't turn as well going to the left.
Yeah, he has you have to completely stop dead, A/B spin, and then try to not. Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
Yeah, it's one of the worst feelings. It's like, no. But still with a good lead, even despite that, he did have the star, so he was able to get through.
Still about 3 or 4 seconds ahead.
Yeah. And yeah, this is still about where we were, in reverse. Matthias had a little bit of a lead in the last race, so like I said, anything can happen. The run really starts in the next couple tracks.
Even the luck's kind of flipped. Dan's getting all the shrooms.
Yeah, and he has had a couple boosts so far too.
I think actually someone in the chat, I kind of saw out of the corner of my eye, did Matthias do the 8th place item glitch with a boo and shock dodge at the same time?
Oh, I didn't see it if that happened.
I saw the sky flashing like a bolt on his screen sort of up corner of my eye.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, I was watching Dan's screen too, but yeah. I just wanted to ask if I was seeing things, because that would have been kind of crazy if that is what happened.
Yeah, that would be lucky. You don't see it too often, but sometimes. Just getting that, like, oh, I'm going to use it now, and then suddenly the lightning bolt hits. Epic shock dodge. And Sammy, this is based on total time, so that's why the timer at the bottom. So in-game time isn't going to be a factor, just because there's menuing and lag reduction and things of that nature. They can help them get a lower time.
There was a shock dodge? Yeah, okay. So he used a boo for the, I guess, technically 3rd place item glitch.
Yeah. Okay.
One shock dodge with the boo and got triple shrooms off of it. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. And yeah, I have been checking to see if their resets are fine. Yeah, both of them are so far. There is was it a 10-second penalty if someone resets too early?
I believe so, yeah. Which is huge. Definitely don't want it to happen.
But we didn't want to just disqualify someone for resetting.
Right. Especially if it happens on the first cup, because then it's like, okay, that's over. And we also had some emulator players earlier on in the tournament, and because of how much lag there isn't for the emulator, I believe we started off with a 30-second penalty, so they just started 30 seconds later. I think we upped it to 35.
Oh, okay, so MR's shock dodge was at the end of the boo. The boo wasn't the item.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. So slightly less crazy than I thought, but still pretty awesome.
Oh, Dan! So that is pretty much what you don't want to happen, doing that zigzag, because if you don't get the drift, you're gonna land right in. He was able to slow down and not tumble. That is the least ideal situation.
He did a really good job of not tumbling.
Yeah, that was a good reaction to that. It is very risky.
Your instinct is to kind of like counter steer and try to steer away, but the weird way the physics work in this game is when you turn your cart to the left, your cart actually kind of swings out to the right.
To the right, yeah.
So he had to actually kind of just hold straight for a while, which is like super hard to make your thumb do.
Right. Because it's like, it's counterintuitive because you want to go for that, but it's worse.
Like it's actually a strategy if there's an item in front of you, sort of just left of center. To avoid it, you actually you steer left, and that sort of dodges to the right. It's really kind of weird.
Yeah, so even though there is a 4-second difference, this is really where the run starts.
Yeah.
There's some shenanigans that can happen with CPU item placement. That second place penguin in the cave. Dan laying banana and a fake item box right at the start of the cave. That could be troublesome later. Essentially, when you lay an item, you want to try and just get them out of your way or put it somewhere where you're not going to cross again.
Or in this case, I think it's pretty likely the CPUs are going to take those out.
Right.
It's a pretty tight area of the track.
Yeah. The only worry is that if they go invis/invol, and then they just go right through it. As I've been very surprised putting an item down, that, oh wow, that's still there? Like, why?
Yeah, there are definitely some times where you put an item that is literally impossible to miss, and you get around, it's still there. It's like, well, the CPU's cheated.
Matthias taking it easy on the second lap. Probably a wise choice to have saved that mushroom.
Yeah,
because he did have trouble on that penguin last time.
That's the exact situation he hit the penguin in the last race. Also, I think he had a shroom on lap 1 as well, so the cycle was a bit off from what it would normally be.
Right.
So, just sort of an extra reason to...
Exactly. Yeah, might as well keep it safe.
Yeah.
Pulls a boo at the end of the lap. It would have been more beneficial to have it earlier on so you could safely just go right through the penguins. So, similar times, Dan is...
historically, he's very aggressive on crack jumps and these kinds of things.
Huge.
Same with the one try, just like no fear at all.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I personally wouldn't go that aggressive, but he does it in a high pressure situation and makes it. So it would be very beneficial for one of them to pull a boo now. Or at least a mushroom. It'd save a lot of time going over the grass.
Yeah. Did see Matthias got the boo, but didn't get the glitch in the last race.
Yeah.
Gets a shroom though. These boost pads on the ramp too also act like shrooms, so that's part of the reason why they're drifting on them, but also you want to empty it.
Hey, boo's out.
See if he can hit the glitch.
So he's gonna go to the right. Oh, a little early, it looked like.
I think maybe hitting that plant a little bit might have thrown him off.
Yeah. It was lucky that he didn't like spin out or hit it.
I thought he was going. Matthias with another shroom. This is actually gonna end up being quite close, especially with that.
With that, yeah. He got a little polygon hop because of the incline.
Yeah, I think you'll see.
It's gonna catch up right now.
Pretty much in sync now.
Oh, jeez.
Dan still just barely ahead. Oh, and the CPU
pulls another one. Okay. All right.
He has shroom though, so if Dan doesn't get, He's in trouble.
He's in trouble if he doesn't get it.
Gets a gold.
All right, golden. Nice. Good pull.
Nice. See where he uses it. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Ooh, he kind of got snagged on that one. But he'd be able to do the fast lap.
Barely lost his time.
Yep.
Matthias with the regular shroom. You see that getting caught up on the polygon there actually lost him enough time to put him right back in sync again.
Right, yeah, it didn't pull him ahead very much. That was interesting. All right, neck and neck coming into Bowser's Castle. So this is going to probably be one of the first spots where we see some sort of variance. So good luck to both of the players on this one. This will be the start of a decision here.
Yeah, it's interesting. You usually call Bowser's Castle the Great Equalizer, but they're already equal. So.
Right, yeah, exactly. But they could have some variance here and then still pull back that variance again in DK Jungle Parkway. So it could be a very back and forth coming up.
He is with a shroom.
Interesting. Yeah, that'll save him some time.
It saves a bunch of time, but it also throws off the cycles of the thwomps.
Right. Yeah, it can be a double-edged sword, definitely.
Yeah. Especially when you get it on lap 1, because now you have 2 laps that are different.
Yeah, the Japanese game actually has a lot of references. No!
Damn.
Oh, huge mistake. Right at the beginning there. Just had a too far of an angle to the right.
And doesn't get a good item on the
third place.
That's a real shame. So now, I mean, Matthias really just needs, at this point, a clean run from here on out.
Right.
And, just as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, it's going to be hard for Dan to catch up that much time.
Right.
That is so easy to do there, though. Just the cart just catches the ground, you don't get the drift, and it just flings you off in the opposite direction.
Got some pretty lucky item placement, even despite that. I didn't see a lot of bananas, in the usual nightmare spots. So, despite that mistake, it's really tough because the next 2 races are really gonna solidify where these players are at.
We'll see how Dan decides to play the rest of this.
Yeah, he might go really aggressive on Yoshi Valley.
Yeah, because against me, one of the reasons why I managed to beat him was he took some extra risks later on that didn't pan out. That if he had actually just played them safe, he actually still would have beat me.
Right, yeah.
But that's much easier when he's so much better than me.
Right.
Where with Matthias, just playing it safe and catching up with pure driving skill is probably not really an option.
Right, yeah. The variance isn't going to be very high. I mean, we are talking about the number 1 and number 2, like basically time trials rivals.
Yeah.
So it's really going to come down to some quick decision making in the next couple tracks here. See if we can get some item luck.
Yeah, Matthias is the combined time trials champ for non-shortcut, and Dan is actually the NTSC champ. So both these players are insanely good.
Yeah, it's crazy. When you look at the standards on the site, there's like, here's the God time, which is the highest standard, and then there's like everyone else has pushed all the Halford standards, which is just a made up extra standards basically. But you can see on these tracks where like the God is this time, and then they have like a time that's like 5 seconds faster, at least in some instances, like DK Jungle Parkway.
Yeah, it's true. We did actually get kind of cut off by Dan falling in on Bowser's Castle. I think we were just mentioning that the Japanese version on quite a few tracks just has different names for the tracks.
Oh, I was actually gonna go into the signs, like the Marlboro reference and the all of the alternate, because they, you know, can basically just not have that copyright thing. So they actually have a lot of American companies that they just reference.
Yeah, I think it was also there was a bit of trouble where having essentially a tobacco reference in a kid's game.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
He's got 2 shrooms and Dan got 1, which is
well, and Matthias with a quick last one.
Wow, Dan saved.
Yeah, Dan did save. Yeah.
I think he had a banana for quite a lot of it as well, so that's probably
right. And he still has one right now.
Yeah.
Holding it even in this sequence right here does still saves a little bit of time, maybe like a quarter second. I mean, at this point, any little bit's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, it's true. The Marlboro branding. I mean, Marlboro still has sort of sneaky ads in Formula One, but yeah, that was, I'm sure, part of the reason why they did the
Huge.
Mario Row.
Yeah. Oh, got a mushroom. This one is definitely a good spot to get it. He'll probably use it at the beginning of the second lap. Save good amount of time, but if he gets a second one, that's going to be huge, because at the end of the race, you're basically just cutting over the grass, because you can cross the finish line all the way to the left, and you do save time without it, but with it just saves even more.
It's actually saving the shroom, looks like, for the
yeah. But yeah,
I think
you do save more time there.
I think maybe he was thinking the spiny cycles would be.
Yeah, true. That is true. He knows the spacing, so that makes sense.
See if he uses it at the beginning here, if he saves it all the way to the end. It does seem like he's gained a bit of time for sure. He is going to use it at the beginning of this lap.
Both players going aggressive on here.
Yeah.
Matthias getting through clean. Dan also right behind him now. Very good. Wario not in his way. Sometimes the CPUs on that last lap, they're going to be a heavy character like right in your way. As we've seen like earlier in the tournament, even some, hey, booze out, some instances where like Armin coming through on the bridge at the end, DK came through with a star and smashed him right off the side, and he fell down.
Yeah. Dan only about 3 seconds behind now. That's kind of crazy.
Huge. Yeah, he's peeling back. Yeah, he's he's notorious for that. He just comes right back. So yeah, much like how we said with the crabs earlier, those spinies, you can't jump over them because they have infinite height, so you'll still spin out even though you're not physically touching them.
T.S. with another boo.
Yeah.
It's so many boos. Boos are only 5% in first place, so
right.
it's actually crazy.
Yeah, he's pulled a lot of them. Well, yeah, the track is a very tight corridor, so getting good angles, getting good mini turbos is really tough. These players will do it effortlessly. Excuse me, but the CPUs are just evil sometimes because you're trying to take the corner all the way tight to the left or right, and there'll be a banana right around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthias
managed not to fall off the track.
Yep, that is literally what I was just talking about. Sorry, Matthias.
Yeah, there are times too where they'll put a banana or a fake item box in a place where it's literally just blind and you cannot avoid it. Right.
No!
Oh, that's just not fair.
Yeah, that was the worst timing ever.
That's just mean.
Wow. So far that was the first one this race.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes try to not say the L word because I don't want to put that luck on anybody. But that was unfortunate timing, because if it would have even been just like a quarter second later, he would have just hit the fencing area.
It's also just like he was doing such a good job of catching up.
Yeah, that was disheartening.
That's 7 seconds lost on
Huge.
lap 2.
Yeah, that's huge.
So, which would make them about 10 seconds apart now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, it's a couple of chomp hits, really.
Yeah, just a couple.
Matthias Kyle's off the track.
Yeah. Just forget to not turn coming down the start here. Or there could be, it's really tough to see items on Rainbow Road, so it could be the classic banana into a fake item box, and then a chain chomp rolls right over you. Not likely to happen, but would be funny to see. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just super unfortunate though. Just,
that's just salt in the wound at this point. Like, dang. Wow. 2 in 2 tracks. So just to remind everybody how unlucky that is, the 8th place CPU has a 1% chance of getting a lightning. So 2 in 2 tracks is very, very unlucky. Feed Yoshi this time
instead of DK.
Yeah, we know what happened last time. He fed DK and fired the bananas at him, and then he had a banana immediately after.
Yes, it's 1% per item box for the 8th place CPU.
Yeah, only the 8th place CPU. So when you see people get bolted several times in a row, that is very unlikely and unlucky to get.
Like, average for a run is 0 to 1 for the whole run, really.
Right.
And now, of course, with that bolt, Dan's chomp cycles are a bit off, so he's got to...
Right.
Instead of just automatically going to where he knows they are, he's actually got to pay attention to where they're going to be.
Yeah, the chain chomps don't, like, zigzag all the way to the walls. They'll, like, turn around in the middle. And for me, we've been playing this for a long time. I still don't remember which ones are going to be, coming across. It depends, because you're not always on the same pace.
Yeah. And it's not, like, some chomps, it depends where they are on the track. Sometimes they don't go all the way to the wall. Sometimes they do go all the way to the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I actually, like, have, like, a little, like, sticky note that I put on the side of the TV. Just be like, okay, this is generally kind of where it's going to be.
Yeah. And it's always like every time you come back to this track in time trials, you have to relearn where the chomps are.
Yeah, exactly. And if you got better since the last time, you have to relearn it.
Different. Not quite as bad as Yoshi Valley though. It's like
that is tough.
Every time you go back there, you have to fail a lap 3 on PR plays at least to learn.
Yep.
So Matthias coming to the end of his final lap, or starting his final lap, I should say. It is looking like he is going to win this one.
Mm-hmm. It would take something really exotic to happen.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. It was still a great run here, because Dan had to win one for us to even get to this spot. So he beat him by a few seconds, and it was neck and neck, back and forth. So just how it is, tournament luck. Like, getting bolted twice.
Oh,
fake item box. Hey.
Needs a few more of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, like both these races were super close, back and forth. So pretty crazy happening. So
it was still a very good time. So
and we got to have 2 races, which was I think what everybody wanted.
Heck yeah, absolutely. Oh, a second one. He's gonna need probably about 3 more of those.
Yeah. He's doing his best. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one on the left there. He didn't go for it. And I believe that is actually the last chomp that he's just passed there.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that is the last one.
Just gonna look at is he Is he on pace for a 38 here?
Yeah, it's gonna be really close. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like 55, 56.
38:55. That is the best
Now
time.
his best time. Yeah.
I think it's the best time overall as well.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Dan
Amazing.
coming through with a really not shameful in any way 39:03.
Right. Yeah. Let's just remind everybody that a low 39 is ridiculous. Is a ridiculous time.
39:03, and he fell off 2 tracks.
Yeah, and yeah, 2 lightning bolts. If that would have been like neck and neck at the end. And Matthias did hit a couple chomps too, so I could have swung both ways. So
Yeah.
unlucky. Great driving from both the players. So if we could throw up those GGs in chat,
It's a really awesome match between them.
yeah, that was a great finals. That was a good time. If you guys want to get in on the fun, visit us at MarioKart64.com. That's our time trials site, and we also have speedrun.com if you want to do all cups, no skips, or if you're feeling rambunctious, skips runs.
Yeah.
So that is the end of our tournament. There are talks of another time trials tournament coming up, or time trials league rather. So season 2, I think maybe this fall.
Definitely going to be one, but it's just up in the air when it's going to happen.
Right. So.
But yeah, it was super close. I think that was kind of the best final we could have hoped for. And
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
Super happy that it was these two in the final as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Certainly wasn't very bitter about getting knocked out before this.
Right. You could have lost to a better person.
Yeah.
After taking him out in the winners bracket. Good stuff. Yeah, and even all that, like, Dan won by a few seconds and only lost by about 8, so you can't feel bad about that. It's just unfortunate luck. It happens.
Yeah, that's RNG is just a huge factor in these races.
Huge,
yeah. Takes you so far.
Yeah, when you're going for a PB and you get bolted, that's like an instant reset mostly.
Especially for these guys.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's already, when they do PB runs, they're actually trying to get double stars at the beginning. So that's like already reset heavy. So you get that luck for double stars and then just get lightning bolt. It's like, okay, awesome. Gotta start that grind again.
Yeah.
For the first like 15 seconds of the game over. Turning around that bans lightnings.
That would be great, actually. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a super fun tournament. I hope we do another one at some point.
I muted one side just so that we didn't have the double ending credits. Kind of sad that it's not the Star Fox ending again, to be honest.
Yeah. Fitting to be the actual game for the
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was super fun. I'm glad that I decided to be like a late fill-in for somebody else.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to more of these in the future. I'm so glad that Speedgaming hosts us, so thanks again, everybody.
Cool. I think, judging by the number of viewers we have, we were actually on the front page of Twitch for this one, so that was really cool.
Hey, everybody. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the BC fall off for Dan too. That was huge.
Yeah.
So a lot of small things, but amazing ending.
Oh yeah, true. He did get first try back up the wall jump on Koopa Troopa. That honestly, that saved the race for him. If he had been stuck there for a while, that
Yeah.
easily could have swung it the other way.
Yeah, that can be huge. All right, so that will conclude it. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and take care, and we'll see you next time.
See you later, guys.